much, if any, has streaming services and viewership played into the media deal negotiations? Well, I mean, it's it's been pretty well known, Gixer, that George Kliavkoff wants to have a streaming component to his media rights package. Whether it's Amazon, whether it's Apple. Now with YouTube, Hulu, like I would think that there's going to be some arrangement to some degree in some form or fashion. What the final product is, I don't know, but like Klyavkov going outside traditional television, traditional cable, that's definitely one of the components of his vision. It's just a matter of, again, landing the plane and being able to secure something. And he's dealing with the fact that he's not going to get top dollar. So what can he cobble together to get the most reasonable price point from the most reasonable collection of media partners? That's really the battle that he's fighting right now, and I'm sure that he's pitched the various streaming services and cable providers and networks on, okay, with San Diego State and SMU, what can I expect in terms of a price, in terms of a package? And he hasn't been getting the answers that he wants. So I'm sure that factoring into this, Gixer, he's having conversations with San Diego State and SMU. Well, you'd have to believe that he's had these conversations. I mean, obviously, he appeared at an SMU basketball game, talked to university brass. I am sure, I guarantee you that he talked to SMU brass about, hey, would you be willing to play late at night on a streaming service? And, like what about these various arrangements? And would you be willing to do this? Would you be willing to do that? So on and so forth. I mean, I'm sure that he's asked those questions. If not, he's obviously a pretty bad commissioner. He doesn't know how to think things through. So I'm sure that Klyavkov is trying to push these various buttons, submit various proposals for how a league-wide rotation of games at a certain level of visibility, a certain level of significance would go. Like, I'm sure that with Amazon, I would think, I don't know this for a fact, but I would think, just trying to be logical here, that with Amazon, it's probably the Pac-12 game of the week, the number one. With Apple, probably number two, maybe number three. So either number two or number three. And then what can you get from ESPN in terms of a regular weekly package? I mean, I'm sure that those different fires are burning, and that Klyavkov is trying to arrange them in a way that, for each of these silos, he can get enough of a price point to be able to give to the Pac-12 CEO group and say, hey, it's not everything we wanted, but it's pretty good, and this keeps us in the ball game. It's going to keep our conference intact. It's going to give our product more visibility than DirecTV and the Larry Scott failed Pac-12 network experiment ever did or ever could. And it's just a matter of being able to find a reasonably happy medium in what is admittedly a bad set of circumstances.
All right. There was a comment made here as I was scurrying for television ratings from LBC about, and before I get to this comment, I'm going to find a silver lining here. At least Klyavkov is pursuing the future. This is the future, at least. He's not he's not trying to cobble together a rights deal with a dying cable industry, which it's still the industry, and it still rules, and it's still rock solid to an extent. We'll see how long that lasts, but it's rock solid for sports television based on just the rights fees. That's the only thing holding it together, is, of course, it being the but we're looking at a TV universe that's somewhere in the 116 million household range, that at a point when it was more in the 112 range had ESPN at 102 at its peak, and that's gone to 80. 25% of the audience, those cable subscribers, are gone. So at least, if nothing else, he's pursuing the future and where people are headed.
That's true. I saw a comment from LBC Trojan from Rick Anaya, and really reaching here. Rick, I just gotta say, like, this is not a preferred set of choices. Like this is not where you want to be. This is not where you want to go. This is more about where you have to go as an alternative in this market, which is where the providers have hold the cards and the Pac-12 doesn't. So that's just really the main answer to your entirely reasonable point.